Greetings, folks. As I record this on the afternoon of the 14th March, we have a couple things coming up. This evening, there is going to be a lunar eclipse and a blood moon. And tomorrow is the Ides of March, which is the same day that in 44 BC, the Roman Senate finally got pissed off enough at Julius Caesar that they decided to stab him in the back quite literally. And that was the end of him. But neither of those events, of course, equates to the other big exciting news coming in, which is 1 week from now is the ArmGods Independence Cup and the WinterBlast taking place at the Valley Forge Casino in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. And so let's get right to that. Now, this was last year. The WinterBlast was the certified largest event in the United States by number of entries, certified by the folks at the ARI system, by the number of entries recorded. I did see a post or two that said that this was the largest event in North America last year, but no, that would be what we call fake news. There were several events in Canada that were a little bit larger, but since due to a certain person who shall remain nameless, the Canadians are already pissed off enough at us. We're not going to stir things up even further by claiming that we were the largest in North America, but we were the largest in the United States, and we hope to repeat that again this year and have the Dragon basically have more folks showing up than those gorillas that are going to show up in Michigan in June. But so let's get to it. The ArmGods event, as I say, is going to be the evening of Friday, the evening before the 21st. The registration for that is up. It comes in, if you go to armgods.com and click on the link, the charge for the very fine super match event between Americans on one side and the Brits on the other side. And you can look at all of the who all is competing there. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but the cost for that is up as 27 pounds sterling plus a 0.68 pound convenience fee or whatever they call those things, which under current dollar looked up the conversion from pound sterling to US, and so we're talking about $35, and you could actually get a percentage, I believe 30% off of that if you subscribe to the one of the ArmGods recurring programs. But anyway, so as I say, that is the evening of the 21st. We will also have that evening the repeat, the return match between Tim Lewis and Michael Hawks, basically making up for the controversial one at an earlier event. And then after that, we have the ArmGods super match events. The tournament itself will be on Saturday, the 22nd, and there we hope to be running nice and smoothly. There are no super matches on Saturday, so we'll be starting the actual tournament itself earlier than we did last year. We also have not scheduled the 3 o'clock break, complete with fire alarms, that unfortunately we had last year. Of course, we hadn't scheduled that one anyway, but some other people arranged that for us. But that will, like say, we're going to be having the tournament without super matches because basically we're going to be running at probably going to be set up for 5 tables, and so we're going to try to move things right along there. There's a gazillion classes which I'm not going to go through all of them, but we do have of course the standard amateur and novice, amateur, semi-pro, pro, women's both amateur and pro. Masters, 3 masters classes, one starting at 40 years of age, one at 49, one at 59. And quite frankly, depending on what they have me working at the event, I might be signing up for, a couple of those myself. So, as I say, that's going to be, we're going to be running that as smoothly as we can there on Saturday afternoon. See, what else do I need to want to say about that? Oh, yeah, cost-wise. Basically, what we have there is $40 per arm. Women are $30 per arm. Kids are free. Kids being defined as up to 17s. We have both, the younger kids and 17, up to 17 as far as the teenagers. What I will add to that as well is that, of course, last year we're at a new location. Last year we were just up the road from Sesame Place, which we're not going to be this year. But we have arranged for Ryan Grondin's wife Jen, who is quite frankly much better with kids than he is. Not that that's a very high bar, but she is an elementary school teacher, and she will be running a special area for the young kids to play and do whatever there. So bring the whole family with you. If the wife is not really interested in arm wrestling, first place, shame on her. But if you basically trust her with the credit cards, there's just up the road is the King of Prussia Mall, which has over 400 stores. And so we have something for everybody. So make sure you get your rear out to the ArmGods Friday night and the WinterBlast on Saturday, which, as I say, we hope to beat the 585 entries that we had last year. So, following that, what do we have is on the next week, on the 29th of March, is Arm Battles of Rochester. That starts, actually, the weigh-ins start at noon. They're going to have 7 super matches at the place where they normally hold their practices for the Easy Rollers of Rochester, New York. That is, let's see, what, $30 per arm. Women and kids are free. Amateur and pro have 5 classes. Women have, 2 weight classes. I wasn't thinking about going to that because it's somewhat distant. On the other hand, if they're not starting the super matches until 2 and the tournament thereafter, where weigh-ins go all the way up to 2, hey, I could actually, get a decent night's sleep and get up there. So, we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that or not, but they usually have a very good program up there, and that is running with the rules that they usually use up there. Let's see, what do we have? So that's the 29th. And the week following that, actually, the month of April, very busy. I'm going to have an event in 4 different states on 4 weeks, and then actually the first week of May is a 5th state. And the ones in April, generally speaking, I will be competing at rather than running brackets or working it. So hey, if you are super heavyweight and you've never won a tournament match, show up and maybe you'll have a better chance with me. But anyway, so let's take a look at the month of April. On April the 5th and 6th is the IFA Nationals at the Hollywood Casino at the Dayton Racetrack in Dayton, Ohio. They do have weigh-ins on Friday night, but the matches themselves are on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, the matches will be senior, which is basically what they call open, and also the women will be on Saturday at the casino. Sunday will be the junior classes and also the masters classes, where they're the masters classes. They have 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, and 70 plus. And those are all classes there are basically $50 throw, parts of which is going to be supporting the team which will be going to the IFA Worlds in Baku, Azerbaijan, which will take place in late October. And so they have a gazillion classes there. The juniors will be grouped partially on who shows up, but essentially what the deal is with that. If you want to go to the Worlds and part of the U.S. team in Azerbaijan, you have to show up. There is a weight class in Dayton, you have to show up. You do not have to place. So even if I showed up and went 0-2, which I'm certainly hoping that doesn't happen, but it often does, I could still go to Azerbaijan if I wanted. But because basically they have over 200 weight classes at the World. So if yours is not being offered in Dayton, which is unlikely since they have over 200, but you could actually go there, go to Azerbaijan as well. So that, as I say, is on the 4th, 5th, 6th of April. Also, that is at a casino. You may recall possibly 2 years ago, in fact, they had to let juniors go to Worlds without qualifying because juniors were not allowed to get into the casino. This is at a casino as well. However, in this case, the place where we will be pulling has a door right into that area that you don't actually have to walk through the gaming floor, so people of all ages can get into this one. So as I say, that is the first weekend in April. Second weekend in April, April the 12th, is Arm Wars 2, which is going to take place at 1 o'clock, weigh-ins previous to that, at Fishkill, New York. This is one of Steve Fernandez's events, and as you may know, a lot of his events bounce back and forth between this location in Fishkill and another location in the on the west side of the river in Newburgh. So this will be at the Fishkill location. There they're going to have, as usual, a whole plethora of classes. Well, how's that plethora? For a fancy word. But basically, they're going to have 4 novice classes, 6 amateurs, 6 semi-pro, 6 pro, 3 masters classes, women. Also, some women's classes, kids classes. Pro is $40 an arm, amateur 30, women 20, and additional ones for the pro are $30 additional each class for that. As I say, that is on the 12th of April. Unfortunately, there they do not have a Ultra Super Grandmasters class for people over 74 because I would qualify since I'll be turning 74 the day before on Friday, April the 11th. But so that is the 12th. The week after that, what do we have on the 19th? The 19th. Beast Mode. The folks from Beast Mode and the Four Horsemen are running a tournament at the gym that they normally practice at on Thursday evenings, but they will be doing this Saturday afternoon, the 19th, in Fairfield, New Jersey. They're at True Grit Armwrestling tournament. This is a benefit, which we're not going to know who the benefit's for because they're trying to keep it kind of secret in a way, kind of like a surprise birthday party. But that will be $30 an arm for the original arm, $20 additional arms at that one. They will have 6 classes of amateur, 6 classes of pro. Try to have 3 classes of women. Hey, women, if you get enough of you show up. Masters are having both 40 plus and 60 plus 3 classes. As I say, that is on the 19th. On the 26th, fourth week of April, weekend of April, there are actually 2 items. And as per usual, I'll start with the one that I'm going to talk about first, and that is the Sit-Down Nationals, which are taking place in Yorktown, Virginia. This year, we are back at the gym where the sit-downs were held for a number of years. The last 2 years, we've actually been on the waterfront on the York River, but quite frankly, it turned out to be too much of a pain in the rear. In a way, there were too many limitations on the part of it was federal property where we were getting together, and they had too many limitations on whether you could collect money and what you could do and what you couldn't do, and so forth and so on. And so we're basically back to the gym where we had been for some time, which is great place. It's just not right on the waterfront, although sometimes when we have an after pool, sometimes you get out to the waterfront, if it's warm enough in late April, which it often does, because right on the waterfront there's a kind of like a boardwalk, except stone instead of boards, with tons of people walking past it. It's really great for recruiting because the locals come past and take a look at the after pool that's going place on a sandy beach. There they actually don't have the weight classes posted on their information yet, but usually what to do there, they will have amateur, pro, women's, and the masters are usually the masters 40, 50, and 60 at that one in Yorktown on the 26th April. Also on the 26th will be what's in, actually find it on Facebook, you have to put the number in to find it, as the 2025 Ohio Tri-State Championship. That is in the Cincinnati area, Loveland, Ohio, in the Cincinnati area. $35 an arm, and they do have cash payouts for that. As long as you have at least 3 people in the class, they will have cash payouts. And so that will start at 1 o'clock. They have 5 pro classes, 3 amateur classes, women's classes, kids classes at that one in Loveland, Ohio. So that pretty well takes care of April. Going into May, I'll get into that at our next program. But we have at least 3 events on the 3rd of May. which two of which I would like to go to. I'm going to be at helping run the battle at Antietam that 98 is running in Hagerstown, Maryland. I would have liked to also get to the uh, get to the event, the Jason Vale out on Long Island. There's also, let's see, what's the third item here? Oh, the Twin State Tournament in Haverhill, New Hampshire. But we'll talk more about those, next month. And as usual, the list attached to this, lists these events in order, and also everything else I know about up to the end of August. So, in short, things are starting to get busy in the pulling community, and I certainly hope to see you at one or more of the events.